Okay, and we are live. Hello, hello, and welcome everybody. I see you filing in below. I am so happy to have you all here today. We have an amazing webinar planned. We've got Juanita here from Visit Central Florida. She is going to update us all and tell us everything that is going on in this wonderful destination, and I can't wait to learn alongside all of you. A few notes of housekeeping today. Number one, we do have a prize attached to today's webinar. Yay! It is an Arctic cooler bag that comes with lots of Central Florida goodies as well as attraction tickets. So that is a great one to grab up for participating in this webinar today. All you have to do to be eligible is stay through to the end of this webinar, and then you will automatically be entered in the draw. We will pick after the webinar is over. And so stay tuned for the follow-up email where you will see that announcement. As always, again, if you have any questions during today's webinar, please put those into the Q&A box that you see at the bottom of your screen. I will be back on at the end of today's show to ask any questions that you have on your behalf. And the chat is also open if you'd like to leave any comments in there about trips to Central Florida that you or your clients have been on. We'd love to hear about that there as well too. And without further ado, I think that is all we have left. I have left to say before we get started. I will pass the floor over to Juanita, and I will see you again at the end of today's webinar. Thanks again, everybody. Juanita, take it away.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Candice, for this lovely presentation. And thank you, everybody who's joined us in this cloudy afternoon. I'm based in Toronto, so here is cold and cloudy, but no, it's snowing, so that for me is a good news. As Candice mentioned already, my name is Juanita Risa. I am the market representative from Canada, of Visit Central Florida. This is the lovely destination that I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about today. Please, every single question that you may have, feel free to leave it in the question and answer box or in the chat that at the end of the presentation, we are going to answer those questions. So let's start here a little bit about Central Florida. As you can see in our map, that little, I think it's like a red or orange color highlight spot, this is what is called Central Florida. I know that we have some other partner destinations that like to introduce themselves as the Central Florida, but we are going to talk about specifically about Polk County. There is that area nestled between Orlando and Tampa, as you can see in this lovely map. This is a perfect destination for those people who are interested in doing a lot of different things in Florida, but at the same time staying close enough of the different attractions that the main cities made to offer. This destination, as you're going to see along the webinar, has a lot of different attractions that sometimes we don't realize that you can find in Florida, and that makes something different, or that can help us to create different itineraries for the people who is traveling to visit this wonderful area in the region of Florida. So please keep in mind that range spot, right? That red spot that you have in the map, so you can understand a little bit what are we going to talk about here. So to go more specifically, we have a lot of different activities ranging from ecotouristic adventures, theme park for children, we have history, we have sports, we have architecture, we have aerial shows as well. So as you can see, it's a destination full of surprises and activities totally different as you may offer in Orlando or Tampa, but at the same time, we are very close from Orlando and Tampa, as you saw in the previous map, so you can still offer those attractions. So maybe I would like to go to the theme parks in Orlando, but at the same time, I would like to stay a little bit more in state parks, or just to go a little bit more green on my holidays, so you can mix. And of course, this is wonderful, especially for the budget, because you have other options, not necessarily as expensive as visiting theme parks every single day of the trip. And of course, you can relax as well, showing other activities as well. So this is just like the general map and some of the activities I'm going to talk about today. So starting with sports and outdoor activities. This is something that we work a lot and we highlight a lot because Central Florida is usually recognized as authentic Florida. Why is this? It's mostly because the natural activities and the real environment that you may find in the destination. So I'm going to start with Buck Tower Gardens. This is a lovely, beautiful garden that is a landmark in the United States and of course in Florida. It's a garden that it was created to preserve the nature of Florida before the arrival of the theme parks and the agriculture and the oranges and everything that now is part of the economy of the destination. So this beautiful garden will have, it's not recreating, it's having actually the origins of the Florida, the real flora and fauna in Florida. And it's a place where people go to hiking, just walk, just learn a little bit more on nature. Or for those fanatic of the music, it's a place also to go to have a live music, live concerts in there, especially from this little lady that you see in the picture. Her name is Buck Tower, as the name of the park, and this is a musical instrument. She's a tower with more than 60 bells on the top, and it's played by a carillon. Well, the name of the instrument is carillon, and the carillonneur, I don't know if the way is the correct way of the pronunciation, but something like that, is the person who plays this instrument. So especially in the summertime, springtime as well, they have live music concerts in the afternoon, so you can go there, relax, chill, have an amazing different afternoon and enjoy from a beautiful, beautiful view in Book Tower Gardens. Continue with other activities. Of course, some people like to enjoy walking. We know that Canadians enjoy a lot nature and outdoors activities, including right now. Here is winter. Over there is quite cold, but not as chilly as you may find some places here in Canada. So we have state parks, we have Circle B Bar, we have, of course, the airboats activities, lake activities that I'm going to talk to you a little bit more later. So it's a place where people can still enjoy the outdoorsy frenetic activities that people usually like to do and not staying all the time in clothes or in places very, very crowded. It is a place to actually relax and enjoy. This is something that I include recently because I found not some, but a lot of travel agents and consumer asking me about biking in Central Florida. It's not common for you to thinking, oh, I'm going to Florida, I'm going to Orlando, let's have my bike. That is not like a very common thought. However, in Central Florida, we do have trails and we do have roads for bikes as well. So starting from the long ones, we have like routes from trails from 47 kilometers from one city to another. And it's not that kind of trails that you have to share with the cars. No, it's just natural and 100% create for those people who are interested just in explore in their bikes. So we have in the mountain, well, not in the mountains, but we have into the nature. We have as well the path ones that is like the one that you see here, chain of lake trails. We have in different areas around the lakes. So it is very interesting as well for those who are traveling, maybe not with the bike, but are interested maybe in renting the bike and just go around, or are traveling in RVs, or I don't know, in the car, even though, and having some activities down there, or interested in having some of those activities down there. So this is something that people is asking a lot, and it's important for me to share that information with all of you here today. For aquatic activities, Central Florida, I know that you saw in the map that we are just right in the middle, right? So we are not in the coastline. That is very important because a lot of people, most of the people who travel to Florida are looking for going to the beach, to going to the shore. But in this case, Central Florida, even though we don't have sea, we do have more than 500 lakes. So we do have different activities around the lakes. So we have boat cruises, we have kayaking, paddleboarding. Actually, Winter Haven, one of our biggest cities, is famous because it's the International Capital of Water is key. So those activities are activities that tourists can go do as well, can enjoy as well. But something that everybody asks me is about, of course, the alligators. What happened with alligators? Because where there is a lake, it's very possible that we will find alligators. So it's very important for us always to remind people to follow the rules. You have there are specific areas where people can do the kayaking, paddleboarding. We have a company that actually do yoga in the paddle from the after the paddleboarding. So yes, we do have areas where people can enjoy the water, can just do all these kind of activities, but needs to be very, very careful because, of course, some lakes have a high concentration of alligators. So it's important to keep that in mind, that even though it's feasible, it's possible to do those activities, we need to follow the rules to avoid any kind of surprises or encounters with our lovely wildlife in Florida. Continuing here, and this is something that I have to be honest with you. I'm from Latin America, as you may find from my accent. And for me, this kind of activities like agrotourism, like the pick up fruits, it wasn't really wow, because we have that in Latin America. It's very common, it's very normal for us to find oranges everywhere. But once I moved to Canada, I realized that that is something that I really miss. So I learn a lot when I visit Central Florida, especially now between November and March, because it's pickup season of oranges, and I do love a fresh orange juice. So this is one of my favorite things I like to do when I travel in this period of the year, because I'm able to actually have a fresh squeeze OG, and I really encourage all those people who like or who has kids and wants to teach them how actually the fruits are picked up, how actually agriculture works, to go there and enjoy a little bit of this fantastic activity with families. It's amazing, and it's great that after that you are able to have some to for you and to having them to eat in, and it's amazing. It's just delicious, and it's a great experience for those who really enjoy to eat natural food, real natural food. Regarding other sports, we do have baseball. Actually, we in Lakeland, one of the biggest cities that we have here in Central Florida as well, we have the longest, yeah, it's like the longest partnership with a baseball team. And this is the spring training base of Tigers of Detroit. So this is a partnership that is going for more than 80 years, almost 90 years. And it's something amazing because it happens between February and March. So those going there with their families may have the options to see the players just pretty much in front of them. It's not like the huge stadiums that we have here that you see the players like this size, very small down there. If you are, of course, a little bit up in the stadium, your seats, but you can see them, you can enjoy, you can have different moments near them. And for those who, of course, like the Blue Jays, for example, they do have some games during during this season and in Florida. So it's very nice just to go enjoy. It's cheaper as well, and it's more a close relationship as well with the families and the players there. Golf. Central Florida. Florida is famous for golf, and Central Florida, of course, is one of the biggest areas with golf courses over there. We have more than 40 golf courses, but we have a very, very special and specific golf hotel called Stream Song Resort. This place has three very famous golf courses, and they are very famous because I am not a player, but I understand that usually, even though sometimes you have some elevation in the golf courses, it's for them sometimes having an irregular course is more excited. So these courses were created were built over phosphate mines, old mines. So of course it's very regular, and it was designed so people could could actually enjoy and have a very different experience. So Extreme Sun Resort is one of the most important that we have, but it's not the only one. We have more than 40 courses, as I mentioned already, different levels, different areas, different places for people to go and enjoy this lovely activity. And of course, talking a little bit more about outdoorsy activities, we do have as well some activities, especially for the little ones. This is one that I do really love to talk about, and it's one of the newest areas in Lakeland in Central Florida. Its name is Bonnet Spring Park. It's located in downtown, and it was also created over rail yard in Florida. So Lakeland was very famous and very important in the rail area in the beginning of the past century. And they, of course, technology changes, infrastructure, everything, they abandoned that rail yard area. And it was recovered in 2017. From 2014 to 2017, it was recovered for the government and for different entities, and now it became this lovely and beautiful park when people can find different activities from playground for children. You have areas to walk around, you have areas that they are developing for kayaking as well. So it is a place that you can go, chill out, just have a picnic as well, just relax as well, have the children burn all that energy that they usually have. And of course, they are the home of a very, very special museum that is the Florida Children's Museum. This museum, I really like it because of course, it's very focused on children, but one of the things that I really like to remark, to highlight about this museum, sorry, is that he was created thinking about people with different levels of sensorial senses. So everybody with kids with autism will find this place amazing because the colors, the patterns, the way it is distributed, it was thinking especially for them. Of course, everybody can enjoy it. Children from all ages, from toddlers to children about 10 years old are going to enjoy this area very much. But of course, they do have some specific spaces that are going to be quite different and very special for families with children with special needs. Also, it's a lovely way to teach them different things regarding everything, agriculture, how life works, how is going to the supermarket, how is being a policeman, working on TV, etc. So it's interactive. It's very, very nice. When it's, I don't know, maybe it's raining outside, so everybody is indoors and is still having a lot of activities. And if it's very warm outside as well, there is going to be indoors and it's fresh and everybody can enjoy this. So this is a very special place as well for people to enjoy, especially for those going with families. I think that Legoland Florida Resort doesn't need a lot of a huge presentation, but this is one, actually it's our only theme park in Central Florida. It's located in Winter Haven. It's about 45 minutes from Orlando for those who would like to have an idea. And it's just right in the middle. Those who are here from the beginning, in the little map that I showed you at the beginning, in the middle of this area is Winter Haven, and we have Legoland Florida over there. This is a very family-friendly theme park, most directed for families with children up to 12 years old. That doesn't mean that children over 12 years old are not going to have fun, but the focus is, of course, for those children who are just experiencing the first time theme park, or maybe are fans of Lego, or maybe doesn't want to go to other theme parks because it's I don't know, have a huge lane, or it's too crowded, or it's too busy, and just wanted to have a relaxed time with their family. Legoland is one of the places, the theme parks that I know that I visited, that you can actually have some grounds where you can play, some attraction where you can play as well with your children. It's interactive. It's mostly with water, but yes, you can, I don't know, have a war between two boats and two families are just playing between each other or against each other. So it's a really interesting and very interactive theme park where people and children, of course, are learning a lot about everything and can build their own thing. So for example, the last attraction that they opened is with Ferrari. It's a partnership with Ferrari. So they can create their own cars and they can just put it there and compete and see if the cars works or no in specific areas. So it's a really nice and interesting and interactive, and always inviting children to play with Lego. And of course, at the end, you have the Lego store where you can find amazing games and amazing Lego sets that some of them are exclusive of this Legoland theme park Florida resort. Just next to Legoland, we have Peppa Pig theme park. This is a very lovely and beautiful theme park. It's actually the first theme park of Peppa Pig. There were another attractions in other part of the world, but this is the first theme park, and it's a very kid-friendly, mostly focused for children between and up to 5 years old. So it's a small, it's petite, it's a theme park that people can visit it in about 3 hours, 4 hours at most. And of course, because it's very focused on children that age, the toddlers. So the attraction are going to be very focused for them. So very simple, but it's very nice and amazing and offer great activities with Peppa Pig and her family. This theme park, it was the first certifying autism center in Central Florida. And when we say that, we meant that it was not only built around some specifications regarding autism, but as well that every single member of the team is certificated. And that certification passed after to Legoland and then to the hotels. So everything in Legoland, Florida resort is autism friendly. So it's very nice and very important for them as well to work and make it more inclusive in the area. Well, this is one of my favorite subjects. After walking, after playing, biking, just going in the lakes, etc., we need to eat. And that is something beautiful because we have a lot of options in Central Florida. Central Florida for you, it's, how can I put it in words? It's that kind of place that is not so touristic. So you will find like small properties, tiny, family owned, like very special history behind the restaurant that we have there. And sometimes you just see it in the outside and it's like, yeah, nothing special in it. But when you enter and you see the environment and the food and the service and everything, you feel a little bit more like in in Florida, you know, no, in those touristic areas where the food is amazing, but it's very touristic. So this is going to be more homey or more local. That finally I found a way to say it in just one word. So we have experiences farm to table. As you saw, our area has a lot of agriculture options. So yes, our restaurants have actually contracts with agriculture, with local agricultures to provide them the food and everything that they need to prepare their plates. So yes, we have farm to table initiatives. They work with everything from bread to fancy restaurants. And I've just put here a little list of my favorite ones just for you to have in mind. There are spread throughout the region. But for those, for example, who likes Latin food, 1961 in Lakeland, it's amazing. For those who like seafood, we have, and this is something funny because I know that we are in the middle, right? As I already mentioned 200 times, but we have a very fresh seafood in Central Florida because we are in the middle, in the cross paths of the transportation of seafood between the two coasts. So we get every single day very fresh food, seafood. And of course, because of our lakes, we do have as well fish from the lake. So yes, we do have very nice seafood and lake food, let's call it that way, for the restaurants and for people who like to enjoy that kind of fresh food that change every day. You know, when the fish of the day change every single day, we do have that in Central Florida as well. We have restaurants on the lakes, boarding the lakes, of course. And something that I really love, and it's something unique and different, and you never imagine that this is something in Central Florida, are the barbecue festival season. Yes, Central Florida is famous and it's becoming very popular for the barbecue festival season that happens in January and February. We have the Pig Fest, that is usually the first one. There are three festivals. The first one, that is the Pig Fest, followed by the Grill Gone Wild, and the last one, it Ribs on the Ridge. Usually the people who is participating in the three of them, they like to have the triple crown. So they want to have the three win in the three festivals. So this is really, really amazing and delicious. They're usually happening in different weekends, of course. So people are able to go and participate and eat, and of course have this lovely and magnificent experience. So yes, this is something that is not only happening in certain areas of the states. It's always as well happening, sorry, in Central Florida, the barbecue festivals. So, okay, I already talked to you about the activities. I already explained a little bit more about our theme parks, our food, restaurants, and now we're going with our accommodations. Well, Central Florida, as I mentioned, actually I didn't mention that, but it's one of the largest counties in Florida. So we do have a lot of cities, a lot of space, but mostly the most important ones, the big ones, the big cities, has very special hotels that I'm going to present here. Of course, at every single destination, we do have like branded hotels like Marriott, Hilton, um, all those brands, Holiday Inn, all those brands that we know. What is the difference, for example, between a property in, I don't know, Closer City and Central Florida? Mostly the price, because we are not so close. We are close, but not that close to some specific areas, thematic theme parks or areas, coastal areas. Sometimes the prices can be a little bit different. So for those families looking for travel on budget or traveling in a different budget, this is a lovely way as well to help them to find places where to stay close, to stay near, but at the same time have some savings regarding the property. So we do have hotels. We have more than 700 room, and we do have vacation homes. This is something that I know Canadians look a lot. And we do have our neighbor is very famous for the vacation homes. So I'm not going to mention my neighbor, but I'm pretty sure most of them know it. And we do have, well, my vacation homes are located in Davenport. It's just 35 minutes from Walt Disney World. It's very close from Orlando. It's very close from different areas. And we do have different condominiums that are sharing with my neighbor city. So this is funny because, yeah, depending on the number of the house, you might be in Davenport or you might be on the next city. So yes, Champions Gate, Bahama Bay, Providence, Soltera, Regal Palms, Balmoral, Florida Resort Florida, sorry. These are the most famous, let's call it that way, the most relevant vacation homes that we have in the area. But of course, we have other little condominiums as well in the area. But for reservations and working with the international market, these 6 properties are like the most popular and the most common. So for you to have in mind, in case you want to find to offer something that people already are familiar with, but with different range of prices as well. Unique accommodation. This is something very unique and different as well in Central Florida. And of course, I'm going to mention or to highlight the ones that we work a lot with. We find Legoland Florida Resort. As mentioned with the theme parks, and next to the theme parks, actually, we have 3 hotels in Legoland. 2 of them that are really, really, really close. It's like 35 steps to the front door of the Legoland, and they always promote them that way. That is Legoland Resort and Pirate Island Hotel. And they have the beach retreat that is about a mile or so from the theme park, but it's also an option for families who wants to be a little bit more away or that need a little bit more space, because the hotel is the structure is like in bungalows, like separate bungalows. It's not that big, but it's also very nice for those who want to have a little bit more space or privacy. Legoland Resort and Pirate Island Resort Hotel, both very close to the theme park, as I mentioned, and both the rooms are thematized. So as you can see in the pictures, of course, the pirates are everything related to pirates, and Legoland Resort, I think you have like a 6 different themes on the floors according to the, of course, if it's for girls, for boys, for mix, everything, of course, related to the theme park as well. Something that I really like about the resort is that the kids still have things to enjoy in the room. So they have like a hunter treasure. Of course, they have Lego things in the room for there to create figures. So they have activities in the reception, in the lobby area for kids as well. They have pajama parties. So it's a very animated and it's a very, very active hotel for those who are going with families. So people can actually, kids can actually enjoy, and parents can just stay relaxed and see the children play with other children in the lobby and chill out a little bit while, of course, they're having amazing time. We have Westgate River Ranch Resort and Rodeo, and this is a very particular and special area that I like to explain a little bit more. Westgate River Ranch, they're located in the southeast of the region, but they are very different because they are an actually real dude ranch. They are actually still going on, they're still working, and they have the oldest rodeo in Florida. So yes, for those who doesn't know, the original cowboys, before they moved to Texas, they were born and they lived in Florida. Actually, they were known as Florida Crackers. And this ranch, of course, still have a little bit more about that history, about everything related to the Florida Crackers, the cowboys in Florida. And you can just ride horses. You can, of course, participate, no, but watch the rodeo every Saturday night. They have music, like Western music. They have like dance lessons. So they have all that really Western environment. And it's a place that when you are there, you don't feel like you are in Florida, for a little bit, just like, I don't know, you're teletransport to other place, other time. The internet doesn't work very well in a specific area. So if you want to be unplugged for technology, it's also an amazing place. And something that is really special in Westgate River Ranch are the accommodations. Of course, they do have a lodge, like normal rooms, a little bit rustic, but they do have luxe TP, they have glamping and luxury glamping, and they have these Conestoga wagons that you see here that can be for up to 6 people. The same for the glamping, luxury glamping, and luxury TP. So depending on the experience, depending on what they want to do, they have different ranges of prices, packages, accommodations. For example, the Lux TP, this is, well, the first one on the left. The price includes all the activities at the resort and includes breakfast as well. So it's a family who is really active, who is interested in ride a horse, I don't know, they have a lot of activities over there. So if they want to do everything, and includes also a golf cart to drive around, so it's a perfect place to go and have fun. But if they just want to do some activities and they are not willing to spend that much, they have the lodge option or the glamping. Oh, maybe it's a family with an RV. They do have like a spaces and RV camps as well for those families. So there's actually accommodation for everybody, for everyone. If they just want to do like a regular camping, they can do it as well. It's just an amazing place that I do highly recommend for you just to look at the end of the webinar. I'm going to share through Travelweek the links, the different links of the different properties, so you may have it at hand as well, just to check it and see the difference. And it's really an amazing property, and it's chill out, and it's very different. So it's something that I invite you to check a little bit more further. Extreme Sun Resort, I already spoke a little bit about the 3 award-winning golf courses. I forgot to mention that the 3 of them are in the top 100 of the United States, so that's important. And of course, they do have the part of the resort accommodation for those who want to stay as well and have this amazing experience. And the end, of course, we have RV and camping. As you saw at the beginning, we have a lot of natural experiences. We have a lot of natural parks, reservation, etc. So we do have RV and camping around Central Florida. This is one of the newest one, Margaritaville. They opened in 2020, just after pandemic, just before pandemic. So they've been working really, really hard to get into the market. They have like 170 spaces for RVs for every single size of RVs, but they do have as well these little cabins for those who maybe don't want to stay in the RV, or for those who maybe just have a regular car and want to find a place to sleep. The cabins are from families from 2 to 6 people mostly, and I visit them in October by Halloween time. And they have every Friday and Saturday like a competition of the area with the best Halloween decoration, and you have no idea. I was telling with the people I was with, like, I don't understand when you travel, how to travel with so many cool stuff about Halloween. Like, you know already where you're going, you know already what you're going to do. And they have like a huge things regarding Halloween, the RVs area and the camp, the cottage areas as well. So it's really nice. It's very family friendly. It's in Margaritaville. So of course they have the tiki bar and everything, but it's a really relaxed environment for families and adults just wanting to chill out in Central Florida. But for those who, of course, are working or looking for something more classic, let's call it that way, we have different camps as well, regular camps in state parks, most of them. And this is at least one of the famous ones that we have is Camp Mac, but we also have in the state Lake Kissimmee State Park, or we have as well the Koa. Koa, I think, is one of the most popular camps for RVs. So yes, we do have different options for someone who is interested just in traveling, stopping in different areas. They may have also different options in different points in Central Florida just to cross from Orlando to Tampa. So this is very convenient and very different as well. And yes, I think that, yeah, this is like a big overview, but I do have something special here to mention as well. Sun and Fun. This is a very, very special air show that happened every single year between May and April. This year, no, 2025, next year is going to be the first weekend of April. And this is happening for more than 50 years. Sun and Fun occurs in Legoland Airport, International Airport, and it's an aerial show where you can find, of course, these amazing shows. You can find as well opportunities to fly some specific planes. You may buy a plane if you want to, or if you want to show or to exhibit your plane, of course, people can do that as well. It's a weekend, it's great, it's amazing. And for those who are really or who are really into everything related to aerial shows, to airplanes, it's a really place to visit and to go in that period of time. Also, just if my computer, yes, here we are. We also have a lot of culture, and I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation that we have a lot of history in Central Florida, and that is one of the reasons we are called like the authentic Central Florida. So we have museums, we have, for those who like architecture, we have the largest collection of Frank Lloyd, is the Southern University. It's a full campus of a university that it was built by Frank Lloyd. And of course, we have different small towns, different places to go to visit, to enjoy. So for those families who may have multi-generational, not everybody wants to go to the same place, but maybe you can just have a little bit of variety or to have different experiences, you can actually have and offer all of this in Central Florida as well. Finally, just something that I would like to remember all of you, we have our new Central Florida Insider program. It's, of course, created especially for you, travel professionals. And at the end of the course, I know that you have some different prices that I put it here on my phone, but I cannot find it. So yes, you will have a graduation gift card, complimentary tickets to Legoland, to Book Tower Gardens, tickets to Florida Children's Museum, some nights discounts, sorry, in specific hotels. So, and of course, you will have all the material and very more specific information about Central Florida regarding the places, the areas, the lake, the activities, etc., etc. So I invite you all as well to participate. It's not that long. It's like a half an hour training. So it's lovely, and I hope you also include it in your list. And that will be it. Thank you so much for your time. I'm sorry that sometimes might sound like a blah, blah, blah. I don't know why that happened today, but I'm sorry for that. And I hope you have enjoyed and learned a little bit more about Central Florida today. Thank you.
Thank you, Anita. And don't apologize. That was great. Thank you very much for the webinar. There was so much great information in there, really thorough. It covered so many things. And I think just a lot of great information, tips, and selling features for our travel agents today. So thank you again for that. We do have a few questions. I will get to them. I see some in the chat and some in the Q&A. There isn't too many, so I should be able to just manage it. But if you do have questions going forward, please put them into the Q&A. We have time for a few here. Okay, so the first question comes from Kate Froming, and she was asking about one of the 3 golf courses you were mentioning. How do you spell Trim Song Resort with 3 golf?
Trim Song Resort. And put it in here in comments. So
sure, yeah, you can just put it
in
in
the
the
chat.
comment.
So yeah.
Stream Song Resorts. There we go. There we go. Okay. Excellent. Thank you. Okay. So we've done that one. And then Kate also had a question about vacation homes. Do vacation homes require a timeshare?
No, not necessarily. Could be just rental for the season.
Yes. Excellent. Thank you for that. And then over here we had Kathy say, or no, was it Kathy or was it Kate? Let me see here. Sorry. It's hard when they're in the chat. I have to go back. Are the rules? Okay, yeah. So Kate was talking about the wildlife. This is a different Kate. She's asking, are the rules for wildlife posted somewhere? Maybe a silly question, but don't have to worry about that up here. So yeah, for those Canadian travelers who are visiting, you know, some the areas where there is wildlife present. Is there anywhere they can go first, or where travel agents can point them in the direction to learn about like the rules of interacting?
Yeah, well, usually, for example, the areas where the lakes, where we find the lakes, where people can actually just go and do kayaking and everything.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the information they will find that in the entrance of the lake. And
Perfect.
When you are arriving in the lake, you will see all the be careful wildlife. I forgot the name. Oh my God. I forgot the name of the green animal that I was talking about.
Crocodile.
Thank you.
Alligator. I forget which one is in Florida. I think it's the crocodile.
It's alligator.
Guys,
Alligator.
pop it in the chat if you know. Alligator. Okay.
It's alligator. Oh my God, I'm sorry. It was a blank in my mind.
No, it happens. It happens. It happens to those of us who English is our first language. So all good there. Do
For
not
sure,
worry.
all of you are going to remember that one. You see, I just did it with my hands, and everybody knows what I'm talking about. So you will see it that there are alligators in the area. So you will find out that information beforehand, especially if you are doing any specific activity, special activity, or visiting the state park or places where people usually do that kind of activities. So yeah.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for that. And then this is Kate Lindtag, another Kate as well. She's asking, thank you for, or she says, thank you for pointing out the Florida Children's Museum in regards to how it is a great place for kids with autism to visit. Is there a place that Kate can go, or do you have any other more recommendations for autism-friendly recommendations in Central Florida?
Well, yeah, well, beside the Children's Florida Museum, we have Legoland as well, Florida Resort. We have Peppa Pig theme park, and I didn't mention Buck Tower Gardens. We do have an area for children as well, and they are as well autism certificated. So
great.
We every day, I know that we have some hotels working in getting this certification as well. So in general, Central Florida is working a lot in becoming more inclusive, especially for sensitive and specific needs. So yes, we do have those.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Juanita. It looks like that is it for our questions from our participants today. We had a lot of comments as well. Dana was saying, great info, learned a lot, and will finish my specialist training ASAP. Lots of people on here just glad and happy for the information today. So thank you so much for that. Um, I always like to close out the show with sometimes with like a personal tip or favorite or something like that. So when you have friends or family coming to visit, is there anywhere in particular that you suggest is like a must see or a must do?
Well, I have to be honest with everybody. I am very foodie person. I love
Yes,
to eat.
great. We love it.
So one of my favorite places to visit is a barbecue place, Peebles Barbecue.
Okay,
Is
yum.
that kind of place that you see on the outside. Actually, they don't open in the summer. They are just open from September to May or beginning in June
Okay.
because it's that kind of place. It's familiar run. It's a small. If you see it on the outside, it's like a white house, like nothing too special in it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But they marinate everything in house. And
Oh,
when you
yum.
visit that place, oh my God, it's small, it's very family friendly, it's just amazing. And I do recommend that place. I love it. It's
Oh, excellent. Thank you for that. That is a great insider tip. We love hearing things like that. Yeah, and it looks like again that is all the oh wait, we have one more come in. What's the name of the barbecue place again? I'm gonna write it in the chat. What if you
yeah,
can
let me put it here.
oh,
It's
there you go. Dana
uh,
asks.
let me see. Barbecue. It's an for day. Okay. Yep.
There it is. Peebles Barbecue. Yum. Mm-mm-mm-mm.
So yeah, I
Okay.
do recommend it, and it's great. It's that kind of places that when you get there, it's like it's a hidden gem in Central
Oh,
Florida.
yum.
Just
Yum,
visit it for
yum.
locals, so that make it better.
Okay, yes, exactly. Great, thank you. It's making me hungry already. Yeah, so with that, I would just like to say, Juanita, thank you so much again for being here today. It was a wonderful presentation. Thank you to all of our Travel Week community for coming on live to join today's show. Congratulations to all of you who are here right now because you are now all eligible for today's grand prize of the Arctic Cooler with all the Central Florida goodies and the attraction tickets as well. So that's awesome. Please stay tuned for our follow-up email. You will receive a link to the recording of today's webinar in there as well, which is always also posted on Travel Week's YouTube channel. And Juanita has some follow-up materials we're going to include in there for you as well. So please look out for that. And yeah, Juanita, do you have anything else you'd like to add before we say goodbye for today?
Yeah, no, well, I would like to thank you everybody for coming with me until the end of the webinar. I hope it was with good information for all of you, special tips. And I think at the end of the presentation, my information was there, my contact information, but I'm just gonna put here my email as well. Whatever you need, whatever special tip that you may need in Central Florida, just let me know that just, yeah, just let me know that I would love to help you to create like a perfect itinerary for the people who are traveling with you. So thank you so much, and happy holidays for everybody. And thank you so much. It's 27th December, and you are here with me. So thank you. I really appreciate. It's almost Christmas time, so thank you.
Yes, it is. Thank you. And again, yes, thanks for everybody for joining us today. We know it's close to the holidays and so hard to get online sometimes with all the last minute shopping and whatnot that we all do at this time of year. But thanks again. Thanks again, Juanita. Have a very happy holidays and happy new year. I think this is our last webinar of scheduled for the year. So we'll see you all in 2025 and have a wonderful rest of day. Take care, everybody.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye
Thanks,
bye. Thanks
Juanita.
everybody. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.